started. And we're gonna sit. So do grab something to sit up on so that your knees are in line with your hips or lower than your hips. And how high, whatever it is you're sitting on, depends on how tight your hips are. So if your knees are way up here, then just lift your seat higher. Maybe like a little stack of books or folded towels or cushion, whatever it is that you want so you can sit with a little bit less effort. And for a moment, just come to sit with your hands on your thighs, palms facing down. Morning, Rosie. And sit tall up through the crown, but soften. Everything that's not your spine can just relax downwards. Totally relax your face. And just take a couple of breaths. You might even sigh out gently. Just whatever helps you arrive on your yoga mat. Whatever your night was like, whatever your morning's been like so far, just arriving now. Good. And take maybe 2 more breaths as is. Nice, full, long, nourishing, energizing inhales. And settling, relaxing, reassuring exhales. And just notice your internal rhythm. If you feel like you're in a rush and you just want to start moving, or if you still feel a bit sleepy and slow, all is welcome, all is fine. Just notice what you're working with. Notice what is as is. And then mindfully, softly start to open your eyes. And just slide your hands down towards your knees so the arms straighten a little bit. And it's like cat and cow. So as you inhale, draw the chest forward and you rock up onto the fronts of the sit bones. And as you exhale, hold onto your knees and round your back. Tuck your chin. We'll do that twice more. Inhale. Just feel your way into your hips, your pelvis, your whole spine. And exhale. Hold onto the knees to open the middle back. And one more time, inhale, and exhale. This time, inhale, come back up again. And as you exhale, ease yourself forward and down and bring your hands forward of the shins. Now, with all hip work, just be conscious of your knees and their feedback. If your knees don't like this, by all means, back off. Morning, Judy. Nice to see you. And just take a breath there. Just anchor the sit bones back on whatever you're sitting on as you draw the chest forward. And then with your inhale, walk your hands back up again. Bring your left hand on the floor by your left hip. And inhale, reach the right arm up. Sit tall. And exhale, side stretch. Creep the left hand away, reach the right arm up and over your head, and just feel your way into that stickiness of the right side waist and rib cage. And as you anchor down through the right sit bone, reach a couple inches further through the right hand. Get a little extra space there. Good. Inhale, glide back up. Exhale, both hands come down, and then we'll swap. So inhale, left arm reaches, and exhale, side bend. So creep the right hand away to give you space. Reach through the left fingertips and anchor the left sit bone. Breathe up into the left rib cage and into that left waistline. You might acknowledge that one side feels more willing than the other. That's fine. And as you inhale, come back up again, and exhale, both hands come down. Now, change the cross of the shins, so the opposite shin is in front, whatever that means for you. Hold onto your knees, 3 of those little cat and cowy things. So inhale, lift the chest as though you're pulling your chest through the arms. Exhale, round your back. Hold onto the knees to dome the shoulders. Again, inhale, rock up onto the fronts of the sit bones. And exhale, roll the pelvis so it's almost like you're coming into the back of the pelvis. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Inhale, come up to a neutral spine. Keep the sit bones grounded. And exhale, just start to hinge forward. Maybe your hands come forward, maybe not. Be conscious of your knees. Whole new side, so it might feel a little more or less willing than the other side. Relax your jaw, relax your shoulders. And as you inhale, just walk yourself back up to center. And this time, instead of the side stretch, we'll do a twist. So hold the left knee with the right hand, the left hand behind you. Sit tall up as you inhale and twist yourself round, exhale. Just ease in, don't bully the body. Creep the left hand further round so you can lean the left shoulder open. And just as you inhale, sit a little taller, and as you exhale, turn a little further. And then with your inhale, glide back to center. Exhale, set up the second side. Inhale, sit tall. And exhale, twist round. And again, just let your body be the boss of you, not your mind, not your ego. Just feel where you're at this morning. And as you inhale, glide on back to center. Lace the fingers in front of you and round your back and send those knuckles forward. Tuck your chin and try to pull the hands apart a bit so you get that space into the upper shoulders behind you. And as you inhale, come on out of that. Bring the hands around behind you and lace the fingers back there. And just gently draw the shoulders back. Lift the chest up. And keep the chest lifting. Drop your chin to your chest and roll your right ear to your right shoulder. Just get that little sneaky left neck stretch. And chin back to chest and roll the left ear to the left shoulder. And chin back to chest. And then lift your head back up. Release your hands. Shake your hands out for a moment. Good. And then whatever you're sitting on, move it out the way. Let's come to all fours. So your hands and your knees. And if your knees don't like kneeling, like if you're on quite hard surface, you could always fold up a blanket or towel and stick it under your mat so that then there's a little extra support for those knees. So have your hands under shoulders, knees under hips. And as you exhale, round your back out, cat stretch, like the seated one we did before. Inhale, lift the crown, lift the tail. Slide your shoulders down your back. And exhale, round your back again. Neutral spine, inhale. Tuck the toes and lift the knees to down dog as you exhale. And in down dog, just take a couple of breaths, just easing in. Pad out your heels, maybe shake out your head. You could blubber your lips or sigh. Just take another full, long breath, just easing in. And as you exhale, let's drop down to child's pose, knees down, sit back, reach the arms out in front of you, and let your lower back be a little rounded. So there's space to release that lower back, and the breath is funneled back into the back rib cage. Lift the head a little bit and walk the hands off towards the left side of the mat. The right arm reaches towards the top left corner. And that right sit bone draws back. Now hollow out that right armpit. Externally rotate that right upper arm. So by that I mean the tricep side draws down, the bicep side draws up, and then you get more space into that outer armpit and shoulder. And with your inhale, just walk your hands over to the other side. So as the hands come over to the right, you're really reaching away through the left. And that left sit bone drags back. You hollow out that left armpit. The outer armpit draws down. And the breath opens into that left rib cage. And then with your inhale, walk your hands back to center. Pause at center and exhale. Inhale, come forward to all fours. And as you exhale, turn your left fingers out and back towards your left knee. Now, if back is too much, just out will do. And then do the same with your right hand, out and back, or just out. And as you press down through the palms, gently draw the shoulders down your back. To make it easier, you lean forward a bit. To make it harder, you lean your bum back a bit towards your heels. Good morning, forearms. Just take a breath there. And then we'll start with the left hand again. Turn the left fingers to point forward. and then the right fingers to point forward. Now bring your knees and feet together and tuck your toes with your feet together. Sit onto your heels with your toes tucked, with respect to your knees, of course. Maybe your hands walk back, maybe you stay on your fingertips, maybe your hands come up onto your thighs. Good morning, feet. So try to keep the ankles hugging towards one another and sit evenly on both heels. Now as you're working through the toes and the soles of the feet, bring the backs of the hands together. I'll come closer so you can see. The heels of the hands are together. And then you try to drop your elbows. So now you get into the back of the forearm and maybe you gather the fingers and thumbs. And just take a breath there. Just let the elbows drop if that's all right. Yeah. And then release that, shake out the wrists, come back to all fours, spread your fingers out, wiggle your toes for a moment to set them free. Maybe even flop your tops of your feet on the floor if your neighbors won't mind. And then as you inhale, tuck your toes again, spread them, and exhale, downward dog. So you've woken up the hands and feet, so get nice and broad into the palms, nice and broad and long into the heels and the balls of the feet. And then tilt to lift the sit bones up as you push the hands into the mat and the arms are long, spinal column is long. And then with your inhale, glide forward to a plank position, top of a press-up arms straight. If plank's too much, just drop your knees. And exhale, move back to downward dog. Let's do that 3 times. So inhale, come on forward to plank. Remember, you can drop your knees if you want. And exhale to down dog. And again, inhale. Feel how your legs and your core start to engage at a certain point. And exhale, lift the hips, send the thighs back. And let's just do that one more time. Inhale, lengthen the crown forward. And exhale back. Now this time, come back again into your plank pose. And lie all the way down as you exhale. So you could drop your knees to help that transition if you'd like. And when you come down, point your toes back. Come up onto your forearms for Sphinx Pose. Let's open into the upper back. So as you anchor through the elbows, crown lifts. Chest pulls forward and the shoulders subtly draw back and down. Feel how your legs lengthen out behind you and you press the tops of the feet down, baby toes as much as big toes. Good. And as you anchor through the pubic bone, just lengthen the chest a little further forward. One more big inhale and lie down, exhale. Come on up to all fours, inhale, stay there, and round your back, cat stretch, exhale. Now float the right leg back behind you, inhale, pelvis level to the floor, so leg is long. Knee to nose, exhale, round your back, tuck up the shin, heel to bum. Lift the leg again, inhale, keep it there. Option to reach the left arm forward. If that's too much, maybe left fingertips on the floor or left hand back down. Now pelvis level, belly in, ribs back, reach long through that diagonal plane, right heel back, the left fingertips forward. Now inhale, left hand back down, and as you exhale, step the right foot up between the hands. If it gets stuck, use your right hand to help it forward. Deepen your lunge forward and inhale, rise, low lunge here. Good, now square the hips front as you bend into that front knee. So left hip forward a bit. Catch that left wrist, rise up, take a little side stretch right, but lift the front of the pelvis up, tail down. Next inhale, come back up, bring your hands to prayer, and exhale, twist right. Hook the left elbow outside the right thigh, and press the prayer to turn the chest. Keep the bend in the front knee. Shoulders away from the ears so the neck is long. And as you inhale, bring your hands down to the floor. Exhale, start to sit the hips back, flex the right foot. If you're feeling a little tight, maybe it's just the left hand on the floor. That'll be fine. But draw the chest forward, draw the toes back. Just take a breath, easing into that right hamstring. Nice, everyone. Inhale, come back to your lunge. Plant the hands. Exhale to down dog. Lift the hips and step the right foot back. Staying with the right leg, inhale, breathe it up behind you. Right leg lifts. Exhale, bend your knee, roll open your hips, square to the right, and press your hands down as though the Right knees trying to lengthen away from your hands. Inhale, straighten out through the leg. Exhale, back to down dog. Come forward to plank, inhale. You can drop your knees, lie down, exhale. Point the toes back and stretch the arms down by your sides, palms down. As you inhale, lift the chest and narrow the shoulder blades towards one another. Keep that narrow as you lift your arms. Stretch the fingertips back. Shuffle your chest forward and up. Option to lift the legs if the lower back's happy to. But then keep the legs long and strong. Stretch the toes back. Nice, guys. Inhale, lift, and exhale, lie down. All fours, inhale. Stay there, and round your back, cat, exhale. Left leg floats back, inhale. So leg long, not necessarily high. Knee to nose, exhale. Tuck up the shin, heel to bum. Lift the leg again, inhale. Keep it there. Option to reach the right arm forward. Keep breathing. Pelvis level, belly in. Right arm reaching, left leg reaching. And with an inhale, right hand returns. Exhale, step the left foot up between the hands. Help it forward if it gets stuck. Deepen your lunge and inhale, rise. So here's that low lunge. Square the hips front. Nice, Daniel. Bend into that front knee. Scoop up through the lower belly, tail down. Catch the right wrist, rise up. Little side stretch to the left. Unlock the front of that right hip and belly, but keep that frontal hip lift. Nice, Eileen. As you inhale, come back up. Hands to prayer. Exhale, twist left. Hook the right elbow outside the left thigh. Try not to lie down on the leg. Press the prayer and turn the chest. Shoulders down. Where is there tension? Where can you soften? Your jaw, your eyes? And as you inhale, both hands come down. Exhale, start to sit the hips back, flex that left foot. Remember, you could just have your right hand on the floor and kind of lean over. That'll be fine. Now, toes back, chest forward. Just take a breath, just easing into that left hamstring. And as you inhale, come on back to that lunge, hands down. Exhale to down dog. Lift the hips and step that left foot back. Left leg floats now. Inhale, lift it up. Bend your knee, roll open your hip, exhale. And as you press down through the hands, imagine that the left knee, yes, it's trying to lift, but it's also trying to stretch back away from your hands. Inhale, straighten out through the leg. Exhale, back to down dog. Glide to your plank, inhale. And lie down, exhale. Keep the hands by the rib cage now. Point the toes back. Lift the chest for low cobra. And in cobra, ground those top feet, baby toes too. Ground the pubic bone, good. Draw the shoulders back, lengthen the chest forward. Really make sure the palms are pressing down so you're not cupping the hands up. And as you exhale, come through the knees to down dog, like someone's pulling your hips up and back. And then with your inhale, walk your feet up towards your hands, end up at the front bit of the mat. Place the feet about hip width apart, turn the feet parallel. Put a little bend in the knees, catch the elbows, and hang. Relax your face. Relax your brain. Let your worries drop out. Take another breath there. And with your exhale, drop the arms. Keep the knees a little bent. And inhale, roll up through the spine. Feel how your tail draws down towards your heels so the lower back is long. And then when you're up, shoulders roll back, head lifts last. You stand taller than you ever stand. And exhale, hands to prayer. Close your eyes a moment and just feel your feet broaden and ground. Feel the crown rise up. Feel the shoulders draw back as the chest lifts. And already feel that untightening of the body. Just in these first 20 minutes of our practice, just observe the shifts that you've created. And take a nice nourishing breath, another breath of arrival just into this moment. And then with your inhale, open the eyes, reach the arms out and up towards the sky. Stretch up tall. Exhale, dive all the way down, hands to the mat. Bend your knees as much as you need, especially if your lower back's sensitive. Draw the chest forward, inhale, flat back. Down dog, exhale, hands down, feet back. Option to stay there, or our first vinyasa. Inhale, come forward to plank. You can drop your knees. Exhale, lie down or hover, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog, shoulders back, chest forward. Nice, Nicola. Exhale, down dog, lift the hips. Nice, Tarya. And as you inhale now, float that right leg up in the air behind you. Exhale, step the foot up between the hands. Feet hip width apart. Keep the back leg straight and inhale, rise, crescent pose. Square the hips front like we did with low lunge. Bend into the front knee and scoop up through the lower belly. Work a little stronger through the back leg, that left heel pressing back, good. Reach through the crown, reach through the arms. Now keep this, but clasp your hands behind your back. Roll the shoulders back and draw the knuckles down. Lift your chest. Try to keep your lower back long here. Tail down, back ribs lifting. Now as you inhale, bring both hands down to the floor. Front foot stays there. Exhale, straighten the front leg. Hop the back foot in a step if you want. Hands on a brick, the shin, the ankle, the floor, whatever you want. But draw the right hip back. Lengthen the crown forward. And as you maintain that length through the spine, maybe you fold a little deeper. Deeper stretch into that back of the right leg. Take another breath there. Nice, Stephanie, good. And as you inhale, bend the front knee, hands down again. Exhale to down dog. Lift the hips, right foot steps back. Option to stay or vinyasa. Inhale, come forward to plank. Stretch your neck long. Exhale, lie down or hover. Inhale, cobra or up dog. And use your exhale, downward facing dog. And inhale, walk, step, or jump the feet up towards your hands. Chest draws forward when you get there. And exhale, fold down over the legs. Chair pose. Inhale, bend your knees, reach your arms. And as you exhale, sink a little deeper. Clasp your hands behind you. Inhale, like we did before in crescent. Shoulders draw back. And as you exhale, this time forward fold and stretch the hands up and over the head. Let the head go heavy. Spread the toes and work the legs a little straighter without locking the knees. Nice. One more breath. Use your exhale, stretch the hands another inch. And as you inhale, glide back to chair. Forward bend. Exhale, hands land. Inhale, halfway lift. Draw the chest forward. Down dog, exhale. Option to stay or another vinyasa. Big inhale, come forward. Full exhale, lie down or hover. Inhale, cobra or up dog, shoulders back. Down dog, exhale. Everyone, left leg floats, inhale. And step the foot up between the hands, exhale. Feet hip width apart. Inhale, rise up, crescent pose. Square the hips front. Nice, bend into the front knee. Scoop up through the lower belly, tail down. And as you keep that, then you work the back leg towards straight again. So the inner right heel's pressing back. Now keep this second interlace behind you. So the other little fingers on top, other thumbs on bottom. Shoulders back, knuckles down, chest lift. Now put your mind's eye into your lower back. Draw the tail down and lift the back ribs so the lower back stays long. Bend a little deeper into that front knee. Next inhale, bring your hands down. Front foot stays. Exhale, straighten the front leg. Hop the back foot in a step if you want. Chest forward as you inhale. And fold over that left leg as you exhale. And draw the left hip back. Keep the right leg working, almost like the right foot is the root of the pose. Nice. One more breath there. As you inhale, bend the front knee, hands down. Exhale to down dog. Lift the hips, walk the feet back. Now this time, come on forward to plank again. Inhale and lie down as you exhale. Clasp your hands behind your back. Lace your fingers back there. Roll the shoulders back. And as you inhale, lift the chest, slide the knuckles down your bum. Now put a little bend in the elbows. That's it. And then try to lift the wrists. Option to lift the legs, but again, keep them straight. And as you inhale, just pick up another rib and exhale, lie down. Hands under shoulders. All fours are straight up to plank. Inhale and press it back to down dog. Exhale. Nice, guys. Walk, step, or jump the feet to your hands. Inhale, chest forward. And fold, exhale. Chair pose, big inhale. As you bend the knees, the arms reach. Exhale, sink a little deeper. Second interlace behind your back, inhale. Shoulders roll back and fold, exhale. Stretch the hands up and over, let the head hang. Maybe the legs straighten a bit, maybe not. One more exhale. Maybe with the exhale, the hands can stretch a little further away. And then inhale, glide back into chair. Stand up, exhale, hands to prayer in front of your heart. Pause, stand tall, take a breath. Relax as you exhale. Now, ground through the right foot, tree pose. Left foot into your calf or inner thigh, above or below the inner knee. Stay at the front of your mat because we're going to develop this. Now square your hips front and draw the tail down towards your right heel. Keep the front ribs softening back as you reach your arms up overhead. Hands about shoulder width apart, palms facing in, so you can wrap your shoulder blades down and out and keep the top line of the shoulder and the side lines of the neck long. Now take another breath here. Now pick a point on the ground in front of you to look at and keep gazing at that one point. It'll help your balance. As you inhale, just remove the left foot from the right leg. Exhale, as though moving through Warrior 3. Send the left leg back, tip yourself forward, unlock your standing knee. And then as you exhale, let's come into Warrior 2. Land the left foot, open out to the left, and reach out the arms. Great, guys. Bend into that front knee. Press it open. Tail down, crown tall, arms expansive. A little drop back of the belly in the ribs, just so the lower back's not in so much of a back bend. Nice, Debbie, that's it. Take a breath there. As you inhale, reverse the warrior. Right arm reaches up and back. Left hand on your left leg. Bend more into that right knee. Let the right sit bone be heavy so there's space in your right waist. Now keep all this space. Inhale, straighten up that front leg. Exhale, triangle. Reach the right arm forward and down to your shin. Turn the chest. Stretch up through that left arm. So your legs are working, but don't lock that front knee. Tail is drawing back. That's it, Julia. Reach the crown forward and turn round through the middle ribs. Left ribs back, right ribs through. One more breath. Maybe reach the left arm up and over your head to get space in that right waist, that left waist, I mean. And then everyone, left hand down onto your hip. Look down at the ground. Bend your front knee. Keep breathing. Hop the back foot in and bring your right hand to a brick or the floor in front of and a little to the right of your right foot. Now inhale, float the left leg up behind you for half moon. Press the left foot back, reach the crown forward, turn the hips, the belly, the chest round to the left, and then maybe reach that left arm up. Breathe. If you fall, you fall. It's not a big deal. That's how we learn to balance. Take another breath there. And either you're just going to come to stand at the front of the mat, or can we come back into tree pose? Holy moly. Bend that right knee. Come all the way up. Keep breathing. And bring that left foot into the calf or inner thigh. Take a breath. And then release that left foot. Awesome work. Pause. Just feel how nice it is to have both feet on the ground. Stand tall, soften. And then other side. So anchor through the left foot, tree pose, Vrikshasana. Bring the right foot into your calf or inner thigh. It's common that one side we're better at balancing. So if this is your not as willing side, just practice patience and compassion to yourself. That's just as important as learning to balance, maybe more so. Square the hips front, tail down towards your left heel. Front ribs soften back as you reach your arms. Palms face in. Wrap the shoulders, stand tall through the crown, and breathe. Relax your jaw. Notice when we challenge our balance, where we get all tense and grippy. And just try to be soft. Now pick a point on the ground in front of you, about 1 meter in front of your mat, and keep gazing at that point. Remove the right foot from your left leg. As you exhale, slowly with control, send that right leg back. Tip your body forward. Keep that little bend in your standing knee. And with your next exhale, let's open into Warrior Two. Land the right foot, open out, and reach the arms. Excellent. Bend into that front knee, press it open. And again, tail down, belly in, ribs back a bit. So less of a back bend into the lower back, more of a abdominal stability there. And with your next inhale, when it comes, let's reverse this warrior. Left arm up and over, right leg pressing into your right hand. Left sit bone heavy to get space in your left waist. Keep that length in your left side. Inhale, straighten that front leg. Exhale, triangle. Reach forward and down to your shin. Turn the chest, stretch up through that right arm. Breathe. Work the legs without locking the front knee. Reach the crown forward. And lean the shoulders back just a bit so you're right square over your left leg. One more breath. Maybe reach your right arm up and over your head and get that space from right hip through right fingertips. And then bring your right hand to your hip. Look down. Bend your front knee, keep breathing. Hop the back foot in a step. Left hand to a brick or the floor in front of and to the left of your left foot. And as you inhale, float the right leg up behind you. Keep breathing. Turn the hips, the belly, the chest. Maybe then reach that right arm up. And feel how the right foot presses back as the crown draws forward. And just like we did in Warrior Two and Triangle, draw the belly and the ribs back. Now from here, you're either just gonna stand feet together, or can we bring it back to tree? So put a little bend in your left knee, come up nice and smoothly, slowly. Where's that point on the floor that you were gazing at? And when you arrive, just find your roots, take a breath, and then release that right foot down. Great work. Inhale, reach the arms out and up towards the sky. Stretch up. Exhale, dive all the way down, hands to the mat. So bend your knees if you need. Inhale, halfway lift, chest draws forward. And exhale, down dog, hands down, feet back. Option to stay or vinyasa. Follow the rhythm of your breath as you move. Nice, Stephanie. Nice, Nicola. Nice, Debbie. Great. Lovely, Sarah. Nice, Norma. Good, guys. As you inhale, glide on forward to your plank position. And as you exhale, lie all the way down to the floor. Now, when you come down, let's clasp the hands again behind you, but the second interlace, so the other little finger's on top. You know how I get nerdy about keeping everything as even as we can. Now, draw the shoulders back, and as you inhale, lift the chest, maybe the legs, but see how your lower back's feeling. Unlock the elbows, and maybe you can lift the wrists, but just don't let the front shoulder curl down to the floor again. Smile across the collarbones. One more inhale, pick it up. And lie down, exhale. Turn your head to one side and just sway your hips. Just letting the body rest for a moment. And then either we're going to come back to interlacing the fingers, but with the first interlace, or now let's up the ante a bit. Bend your knees and catch the feet. If you're doing that, make sure you know which foot you grab first, because the next time we come up, I'll ask you to grab the other foot. Now bring the thighs parallel, anchor through the pubic bone, and roll those shoulders back. As you inhale, lift your body up off the floor. So if you've got the feet, your shins press back to help you lift. Nice, Kate. Draw the chest forward and up. One more big inhale, and lie down, exhale. Turn your head to the second side. Sway your hips a moment. Now, if your lower back's not loving this, you can just leave this last one out and just stay lying down. Or back to that second interlace, or bend your knees, catch the other foot first. Thighs parallel, frontal hips lengthen across your mat, and as you inhale, lift your body up. Now, can you make your body longer? We tend to get so fixated on lifting higher. Lengthen the knees as though backwards. Lengthen the chest as though forwards. One more inhale and lie down, exhale. Turn your head back to that other side, that first side. Sway your hips. And then we're going to come up this one last time, one more for good luck. So you've got to come back to the second interlace, or bend your knees. Can you catch both feet at once? And if the answer is no, that's okay, but it's always interesting to try. Also means you have to engage your hamstrings to bend the knees in. So if you've got the feet, maybe now you hold the ankles and flex the feet. Gives you a little bit more oomph through the legs. Just see how it feels. Draw those shoulders back. Last time, inhale, lift. Now, can you keep the length as you then try to lift the thighs a little higher? And as you lift the thighs higher, then can you lift another rib up? One more inhale and lie down, exhale. Turn your head to that second side. Sway your hips and take this last moment here. Great. Now keep your head on that end of the mat. Just flip your body over so you're lying on your back. Keep breathing as you transition. And first, we're going to do a sort of weird version of bridge, which is really to engage the hamstrings. In yoga, we spend a lot of time stretching the hamstrings, and sometimes they can become a little weak, actually. So walk your feet, bent, your knees start bent and your feet on the floor, and then you just walk your feet a bit further away from you. Now lift the balls of the feet up so you're just on the heels. So the only part of the foot that's on the floor is the heels. Yeah, that's it. Now bring your hands down alongside your hips. And as you anchor through the heels, lift your hips up. The hips won't lift very far because your feet are far away from you. But as you press down into the floor with those heels, feel how the hamstrings engage. And then just try to be really soft in your upper body, your shoulders, your neck, your jaw. With your exhale, maybe you can lift your hips a little higher, really firming those hamstrings back towards the bone. Take one more breath there. And then release the bum back down. Now place the feet on the floor and walk the feet in a little bit more, so this will feel more familiar. And now we're going to take it into a more normal bridge. So ground all four corners of the feet and inhale, lift the hips, roll up through the spine till you're on your shoulders. But can you not lose that engagement of the hamstrings that we just found? So can you pull the hamstrings back to the bone? Lengthen out through the frontal hips. Now option to stay or shuffle the shoulders underneath you. Clasp your hands and press down through the elbows as you then try to ground the outer wrists. Lengthen the front body, so knees lengthen away. Nice, Asha. The frontal hips get long, the chest opens up. Now move the hands and shoulders out the way and exhale, roll out slowly through the spine and plant your lower back before you plant your sacrum. So there's length into the low spine. We're going to come up again. So ground your feet. Inhale, lift the hips, roll up through the spine. Shuffle the shoulders underneath you. Maybe other shoulder comes in first. Second interlace under there. Anchor the elbows. Keep the elbows anchoring as you then try to press the outer wrists down. And just notice about yourself if when you just press the wrists down, do your elbows pop up off the floor? Then you know that you have the tendency towards hyperextension, which isn't the worst thing. It's very common with Vinyasa students. But we just try to stabilize the joints and work the muscle more than the joint. And move the hands and shoulders, and as you exhale, roll out. Plant your lower back before your sacrum. That's the back of your pelvis. And pause. Then roll over onto your side. Press yourself up and come to kneeling. So we're going to sneak a camel pose in there, Ustrasana. So your knees are about hip bone width apart. And if you're not quite sure what that is, make two fists and bring those fists between your knees. And then that's about hip bone width apart. This is just stacking your joints, so we'll keep you nice and safe. So tuck your toes is easier, untuck your toes is harder, but hands to the top of your bum and lengthen the flesh of the buttocks down. So in other words, we've done this tons through Crescent series. Lengthen the frontal hips, lift the pubic bone, and draw the tail down. So your belly will engage, your lower back will lengthen. Now roll those shoulders back. We've done that lots too. Lift the chest upwards. Start to arch back. Maybe that's as far as you go today. Maybe your left hand comes down to find your left heel. And if it finds it, then your right hand to your right heel. Be light on your hands because your chest is lifting so high up. Draw the shoulders back and then maybe release your head back, but maybe not. Move your hips forward a little, pubic bone in line with the knees. Nice, Stephanie, perfect. As you exhale, come on up. Hands to prayer. Gravity does not help you in camel pose. Got to really work to lift up. One more time, hands to your bum. Lengthen the flesh of the buttocks down. Frontal hips lengthen, pubic bone lifts, tail draws down, shoulders draw back. Lift your chest, start to arch back. Stay or right hand finds your right heel. Then left hand finds your left heel. Be light on your hands because your chest's lifting so high. Hips forward so the pubic bone's in line with the knees. Yep. One more inhale. And come up, exhale. Hands to prayer. Pause. Point the toes back, sit onto your heels as long as that's okay on your knees. And then kind of like how we did in the beginning, hold the fronts of the knees and a little seated cat stretch round your back. And as you hold onto the knees, it helps you to hollow the belly back and release the lower back a little more. And inhale, come to a neutral spine. Come back to all fours. Tuck the toes and exhale, downward dog. And think back to the beginning of the practice when the body felt very morning-y. And just observe all that you've done. Take a moment. And then either let's take Child's Pose or here's your final opportunity for Vinyasa and then Child's Pose. And if you're in Child's, you might want something under your forehead if you feel like you're kind of face planting on the floor. You might have your arms reaching out or the arms down alongside your ankles so the shoulders can melt. Just feel your way into the best version of Child's for yourself in this moment. When you've ended up in Child's Pose, just take a couple of breaths, just easing into the lower back after our little back bend sequence there. And then bring your hands under your shoulders. Inhale, roll on up. And exhale, sit to one side and release the legs out. Great work. Keep breathing as we transition to seated. Come closer. So now cross at your shins with the right shin in front of your left. Like we found in the beginning, feel free to sit up on something if you'd like. If you're quite open in your hips and you know you'd like to do stacked shins, fire log or double pigeon, then right heel on left knee and right knee on left heel. That's really hard to say. Sit up tall as you inhale and fold your way forward any amount as you exhale, just easing into those hips. Maybe your hands come forward. Maybe you drop to your elbows or forehead down. Maybe none of those things. And just take a couple of breaths, melt the shoulders, relax the jaw. Nice. And then as you inhale, pad your way all the way back up. Lean back and exhale, change the cross or stack of the shins, whatever your hips feel like this morning. Whole new side, so maybe you want to lift your seat higher or not. It's up to you. It's up to your body. Good. Sit tall up as you inhale and fold as you exhale. Any amount. Maybe hands forward, maybe not. Nice, Angeli. Let the shoulders relax. One more breath there. Make it a good one. Make it nourishing. And as you inhale, pad your way back up again. Lean back and gingerly release the legs out in front of you. Now keep the right leg out. Bring the left foot into your inner right leg. If the knee's up off the floor, you might choose to pad it up just so that you don't feel like the knee's kind of twisting as you come forward. Now hands a little behind you so that it helps you to sit up on the fronts of the sit bones, and you'll feel lots of length from hip point to rib cage. Now we try to keep that length as opposed to crumple that length. Lift the chest, inhale. Great, guys. Fold your chest forward and down. Try to think of the breastbone moving towards the right toes. And then maybe your hands come on the floor. Maybe you catch the shin, ankle, or foot. Whatever you can do so the shoulders don't gather tension. And put a little belly twist in there, like you're trying to square across that right thigh as you fold. Now press away through the inner right heel, draw the baby toe back. Yeah. One more breath. Those shoulders being worn as earrings. Can you let the shoulders be nice and soft? Nice, Tyra. And as you inhale, glide all the way back up again. And exhale, right hand holds your left knee. Turn round towards the left. Reach the left arm up, inhale, and side bend as you exhale. Reach the left arm up and over your head. Anchor through the left sit bone as you reach further through the left arm and unstick that left waistline. Use your right hand to help you to turn your ribs a little further round. And as you inhale, glide on up. And exhale, change. Left leg out, right foot in. Option to pad up the knee if it's off the floor. Hands a bit behind you. And use your hands to help you to sit up tall. And as you sit up tall, draw the shoulders back. Nice, Diana. And as you exhale, start to hinge your chest forward without losing that length that you just gathered. So it's like breastbone to toes. Maybe hands on the floor, shin, ankle, or foot, just not letting the shoulders bunch up again. That's it. Inner left heel away, left baby toe back. Yep, that's great, Asha. And just breathe here. That little belly twist as you square over the left leg. And again, just scan over your body and see where you're gripping that you don't need to, and find that softness and ease. And as you inhale, glide back up again. And with your exhale, left hand catches your right knee. Turn round. Reach that right arm up. Inhale and side stretch. Exhale. Reach it up and over your head. Press down through that right sit bone as you turn. And as you reach through the right fingertips, get that space to breathe up into your right rib cage. Nice, Daniel. Lots of space there. Great. Take one more breath as is. You got it. Inhale, glide all the way back up. And exhale, straighten both legs forward now. Move the flesh of the buttocks out the way to anchor the sit bones. You might pin the inner thighs down a little bit. Like we did before, hands a bit behind you, roll the shoulders back and lift the chest up. And as you lift the chest, try to anchor the inner thighs down towards the floor so you'll feel your legs engage. Now feel that space from hip point to rib cage. Keep it as you exhale and fold the chest forward and down. Keep the inner thighs grounding, and then maybe hold shins, ankles, or feet. And if your lower back doesn't love Paschimottanasana, this is the forward bend, then bend your knees, rest your belly on your thighs, and as you shuffle your belly down towards the knees, then you can just start to send the heels away and the legs straighten just enough so you feel that stretch into the belly of the hamstrings. Draw those baby toes back. Good. One more breath. Nice, Christina. That looks great. And as you inhale, glide all the way back up. You might need to scooch forward. You might want to put a layer on before we come down so you don't have to pop up again before relaxation, which we're not at yet. Don't get too excited. And then lie on down. And when you lie down, just bend your knees, feet on the ground to enjoy that different relationship to gravity that we get when we just lie down. And just take a breath. And then hug the right knee in towards your chest and stretch the left leg out straight along the ground. And press the left foot forward as you ground the back left thigh down. Soften the shoulder blades and lengthen the back of the neck. Now reach the right arm out to the right. Big inhale and twist as you exhale. Guide the right knee across the body over towards the left. And when you're in the depth of the pose, I like to shuffle the left shoulder blade to the left a bit, and that gives you more space to settle the right shoulder. And maybe the right arm reaches more on a diagonal from the right hip, so there's more space in the front chest and armpit. Lengthen the outer right hip away from your waist, so there's that extra space gathered, and take a breath into that space. And as you inhale, bring the knee back up. Exhale, hug both knees in towards your chest and just find neutral through your spine for a moment. And then keep in that left knee, stretch out through the right leg. And press forward through the right foot, ground the back of the right thigh down. Soften the shoulders, lengthen the neckline. And with a big inhale, reach that left arm out. Use your exhale, twist. Guide the left knee across the body to the right. Maybe shuffle the right shoulder right. Maybe reach the left arm on more of a diagonal. And lengthen the outer left hip away from the waist. And take a really full, long breath, as deep a breath as you can get in there into that left side. And as you inhale, bring the knee back up. And exhale, hug both knees back into the chest. And again, just find neutral through your spine. And then hug the knees more towards your shoulders, groin open. And maybe you bring the knees just like an inch further apart. So there's just that little bit of extra space, but not bullying the body, of course. And you could stick with that or take happy baby pose. Grab the ankles or the outer feet and stack the heels above the knees. And then try to get the spine long on the floor. So crown back, tail down. And bring the feet just a little bit more parallel to one another. So less ballet through the feet. So heels out a bit more. That's better, Daniel. Great. And this isn't really about the ankles, obviously. It's more about stabilizing the back pelvic joints, the SI joints. And just take another breath there. And as you exhale, release that and place the feet down onto the floor. And step the feet out about shoulder width or even a bit wider apart. And then don't move the feet, just drop the knees to the right, a windshield wiper twist. This is slightly different than what we just did. Now, option to stay there or rest your right ankle on your left knee, but not to push the knee down, more just to create that extra space, that's it, Nicola, into that outer left hip and waist. And then release that right foot. With an inhale, bring the knees up. Make sure those feet are still about shoulder width or a bit wider. And then change. Just drop the knees over towards the left. And either stay or rest your left ankle on your right knee. And just take a breath as though up and down the outer right hip and body. And then release that left foot. Bring the knees back up. And then bring the soles of the feet together and drop the knees out to the side. Either reach the arms straight out or arms in cactus if you'd like. Quite a deeply exposing pose, isn't it? But just take a couple of breaths and watch the journey of the breath as the breath almost travels down the back of the spine, almost curls under the tailbone, comes up the front of the spine and out through the heart. And just feel the thighs relax, feel the shoulders relax. And just take another breath there, just nourishing, reassuring, and grounding yourself. And then you can use your hands to help if you'd like. But as you exhale, bend your knees up, place your feet on the ground again. Scoop your tail gently towards your heels so the low back lengthens. And then straighten the legs out along the floor for Shavasana, our final relaxation. And turn the arms, palms face up by your sides. And let the shoulder blades settle in the ground. And just like how we started, maybe you take a couple of breaths and gently sigh out. Just like you're trying to send a little message to all the cells of your body that it's okay to let go. It's all right to settle and let go and relax. She had always had a problem accepting herself. From as far back as she could remember, she'd had the sense she wasn't enough. Her parents, who both had their own insecurities, had encouraged that idea. She imagined now what it would be like to accept herself completely. Every mistake she'd made, every mark on her body, every dream she hadn't reached or pain she had felt, every longing she had suppressed. She imagined accepting it all, the way she accepted nature, the way she accepted a glacier or a puffin or the breach of a whale. She imagined seeing herself as just another brilliant freak of nature, just another sentient animal trying her best. And in doing so, she imagined what it would like to be free. Start to deepen your breath. And bring some subtle, gentle movement to your fingers and toes. With a deep inhale, reach your arms up over your head and stretch out long from tip to toe. Lots of space, lots of length. And as you exhale, gently ground your lower back, bend your knees. Roll over to your side. Take a nice, nourishing breath into the space behind your heart. And then mindfully press on up and come to sit. And feel free to sit on the same prop you started sitting on. And just sit tall, but soften. And just notice the difference in body and mind and spirit. And thank yourself in this moment for carving out this time of your day to come home to yourself and to unstick the stuck in the body. And just fold the hands to prayer in front of the heart and bow the head. May we stay connected to this sense of space, peace, strength, grace, freedom, and truth as we step off the mat. Together, take a full long breath in and let it go. Namaste.